मुझे बचपन से स्टार्टअप करना था।
अच्छा।
क्योंकि मेरे फादर बिजनेसमैन थे। जब इंजीनियरिंग शुरू की, कंप्यूटर असेंबल करके बेचता था
रियली
एज अ साइड बिजनेस, थोड़े एक्स्ट्रा पॉकेट मनी के लिए। तो उससे थोड़ी मेरी मूवीज निकल आती थी थोड़े दारू सेशन निकल आते थे। उन्हें लगा मैं आधा पागल हो चुका हूँ। मैंने स्नैपडील छोड़ा अपना स्टार्टअप करने के लिए। उन्हें लगा ये हमारा बेटा तो हाथ से गया। पागल है, मैकेंजी में जॉब थी, अब साबुन बेचेगा। Like, I don't know what he's doing in life.
Exactly, साबुन बेचेगा।
और अकेले नहीं करेगा, मलिका को भी घसीट के लेके जा रहा है कि दोनों साथ में साबुन बेचेंगे। Then moved from London back to Bombay to Delhi. So हमारा वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड है आई थिंक। हमने शादी के 15 साल में 13 घर बदले हैं। So we've been crazy. So we've done lots of moving around and shuttling.
Very special guest, Mr. Mohit is with us. He's built an amazing company. We worked together in Snapdeal, I remember. Yes. He sold his company in 500 crores recently. तो आज बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलने वाला है भाई लोग, राइट? हम सीखेंगे कैसे एक कंपनी स्टार्टअप बनती है, कैसे एग्जिट लिया जाता है और कैसे एक सक्सेस स्टोरी बनती है, राइट फ्रॉम द बिगनिंग. तो वेलकम मोहित टू काश से आकाश प्रेजेंट्स द फाउंडर्स शो.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
या मजा आएगा एब्सोल्युटली. तो मोहित, मुझे याद है मैं आपको स्नैपडील में मिला था जब व्हेन यू जॉइंड इन द मार्केटिंग टीम, स्ट्रैटेजी टीम, राइट? और आई थिंक हमारी बहुत ज्यादा बात नहीं हुई थी ड्यूरिंग दोज डेज. आई वाज इनटू मोबाइल मार्केटिंग, यू वर डूइंग समथिंग एल्स, बट समहाउ यू नो आई सॉ दैट हाँ कोई एनर्जी के साथ आया है ऑफिस में, राइट? एंड तो स्नैपडील के बाद मैं शायद अपनी जर्नी में चला गया. I went into MobiKwik and then, you know, starting Zip. आपकी जर्नी कैसे रही and how did Momsco happen? What did Momsco do? थोड़ा बताइए उसके बारे में.
तो स्नैपडील में बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग था. मैं थोड़ा रिमाइंड करता हूँ.
Sure.
मुझे बचपन से स्टार्टअप करना था.
अच्छा.
क्योंकि मेरे फादर बिजनेसमैन थे.
अच्छा.
तो मैंने जब इंजीनियरिंग शुरू की, कंप्यूटर असेंबल करके बेचता था.
Really?
As a side business, थोड़े extra pocket money के लिए. तो उससे थोड़ी मेरी मूवीज निकल आती थी. थोड़े दारू सेशन निकल आते थे. तो वो किया था. फिर TCS में काम किया 2 साल.
अच्छा.
और TCS में ये तो समझ में आ गया कि मैं IT नहीं कर सकता जिंदगी भर.
Perfect. Similar.
Similar से कुछ नहीं होने वाला मेरा. तो मेरी जो ट्रेन की जर्नी थी 2 घंटे की, to office and back from office, क्योंकि मैं बॉम्बे में रहता था.
अच्छा.
So
you born and brought up in Bombay. Sorry.
Grew up in the Middle East, moved to Bombay for engineering.
Achha.
So business was there, as business.
अच्छा.
तो I used to take मेरे घर से एक ट्रेन टू दादर, सेकंड ट्रेन फ्रॉम दादर, एंड देन वहां से बस टू TCS का ऑफिस. So 2 घंटे 1 way and back. तो वो 2 घंटे में बहुत अच्छी निकली क्योंकि मैंने बहुत सारी IIM की पढ़ाई की.
Oh,
I got my CAT.
Nice.
Did all my CAT पढ़ाई during my study back and forth.
तो ऐसे खड़े होके कैसे पढ़ाई कर ली?
नहीं, I used to go interestingly in Bombay in the opposite direction of traffic.
अरे वाह.
हमेशा बैठने मिलता था.
Nice,
So,
nice.
I used to sit and travel in the train back and forth, and that's where I did all my studies.
Okay.
And then got into IIM. So IIM A में भी एक, I think second year में एक course होता है, which is entrepreneurship पे.
अच्छा.
Amazing professor पढ़ाते हैं.
अच्छा.
And वहाँ पे point system होता है. जितने points दोगे उतने अलग-अलग ऐसे बांटते हो, so you get the courses that you want in the second year.
Oh, nice.
तो मैंने अपने 60% of मेरे points एक कोर्स में लगा दिए कि मुझे entrepreneurship सीखनी है, करनी है. और जब मौका आया उसके बाद जॉब लगी मैकेंजी से, तो ऐसे यार कुछ और सीखते हैं.
क्या बात है, क्या बात है.
मैकेंजी में 2 साल बाद मैंने सोचा कि अब मैं करता हूँ. फिर ऐसे करते करते 7 साल हो गए थे.
7 years in McKinsey?
7 years in McKinsey.
Wow, that's very long.
7 years in McKinsey, and then this was 2014.
Sure.
So I was done with McKinsey. I said और कुछ करते लाइफ में. If I have to do something, I've been saying the startup for now 15 years of my life, करना पड़ेगा. But फिर भी हिम्मत नहीं हुई. So then सबसे बात करके, कुणाल रोहित से बात करके, eventually I joined Snapdeal.
अच्छा.
So Snapdeal for me was I will learn everything there is about starting up, and then I will start up.
अच्छा. It was clear.
It was clear. I joined and I told Kunal Rohit, I said this is what I'm going to do.
अच्छा.
1-1.25 साल में आइडिया क्लिक हो गया, सेम Momsco करना है. मलिका को क्लिक हुआ.
Wow.
My wife, and I said okay, I maybe join you.
Okay.
And then I had other job offers.
अच्छा.
But then I think it was time. saying अब नहीं करूंगा तो कब, सब हो गया. I ran out of excuses.
Wow,
absolutely. McKinsey भी कर दिया, startup में senior role भी कर दिया, अब क्या? Now the only thing left is to actually start up.
या तो
I had a great idea. So that's how the Moms Company happened.
Wonderful.
Malika said there is a need for mothers which we must solve with very high quality natural products not available. And I said I have been wanting to do a startup for my entire life.
Yes.
I have to do it now.
Achha.
And so that's how the Moms Co was born in 2016 as one of the first D2C brands in India.
क्या बात है.
Before D2C was a thing.
Really?
किसी को समझ में नहीं आता था ये D2C.
हाँ, D2C. But ये D2C actually कुछ भी नहीं था, मतलब उस समय जब आपने स्टार्ट किया. और आज की डेट में D2C इज अ रेज, कम्युनिटीज बन गई हैं, मतलब 100 D2C स्टार्टअप्स में टॉप रैंकिंग्स आने लग गई हैं, मतलब क्या क्या होने लग गया है. तो कैसे, मतलब D2C जब कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं था, हाउ डिड यू गाइज कम अबाउट इट? डिड यू स्टडी कि भाई यूएस में चल रहा है तो हम इंडिया में करेंगे, या फिर मतलब कैसे? बिकॉज आई वांट टू टेल द यंगस्टर्स हु आर थिंकिंग कि भाई कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी आज की डेट में, फिर भी बिजनेस बन गया.
सो आई थिंक हमने ट्रेंड जल्दी स्पॉट कर लिया.
अच्छा.
And दो तीन चीजें, right? One is core insight.
Okay.
It's interesting that 6-7 years after we started, still every 3 months, one mother will call us and say, ये product available नहीं है India में, I want to launch a company for it. So this core need के moms want very high quality products for their kids, और India में इतनी options नहीं है अभी भी. That has been there for a long time.
Correct.
Right? That's why there are export shops जहाँ import होते हैं. हाँ. आपके kids goods. हाँ. लोग आज सूटकेस हर वाले सामान आते हैं. हाँ हाँ हाँ. Right? So ये ऐसी category है जिसमें people are willing to spend for their children. Right. And you don't have high quality products. So that's one. The second thing that happened was in Snapdeal, and I was heading growth. So I saw lots of data. Achha. The data said that mothers or women in general are the most high repeat loyal customers क्योंकि they want value but they also don't have time. वहाँ जाते नहीं हैं. They spend so much time at home, they want to figure it out, or if they're in offices they don't have time to juggle around. Sure. So they are actually great shoppers online. Right. So that's the second interesting thing that I saw. And third was Instagram and Facebook groups and so on. People are actually starting to discover brands. Right? Instagram got bought by Facebook in 2014. Right? So yes. This was when it was still very personal photo, but brands had started adopting it. Okay. So we saw products की कमी है इंडिया में. Trend wise, moms are coming on e-commerce and they will become big customers. And Instagram पे आप brand बना सकते हो. ये तीन मिला के looks like moms and babies oriented brand बन सकता है जो हम deliver कर पाएंगे. Nice. But before D2C was a thing, and industry was a thing, and so on. So just coming together saying how business बन सकता है.
But उस समय, like Moms Co was there. I think Mamaearth was a similar business, right? और भी एक दो ब्रांड्स आए हैं मॉम स्पेस में, कुछ वो डायपर्स बनाने वाले ये वो. तो where was Mamaearth at that time and where was Moms Co? Who was early? और क्या मतलब कंपटीशन को कैसे हैंडल कर रहे थे, बिकॉज वहां पे वो भी एक ग्रो कर रहा था. So I don't know actually much about it, and that's what I would love to know.
So we started at a very similar time.
Acha.
And then I think what happened over the years, we were very focused on we will solve for mom and baby.
अच्छा.
तो हम वो करते गए as the Moms Company. And हमारे जो investors थे, they were aligned with us saying India में अगर आपको exit करना है at some point of time, you have to be very sharp. We wanted to go global. और अगर आपको global जाना है, you have to be a very sharp brand. If you see globally how the market is, it's very evolved. All brands are very, very sharp. Right? So one of the largest.
Sharp meaning?
Sharp meaning, I'll give you an example. Yeah. One of the most interesting success stories in skincare globally is CeraVe. Okay. A recent brand launched about 10 years ago. Okay. They say we solve for skin dryness with ceramide as the core ingredient. Oh. So ये इतना शार्प है, और उसके ऊपर they built 8-10 products which are massive globally. Wow. So if you look at before, who was our competition? Our competition was actually BioOil. Right? Bio oil is a global product, single product which is an oil for pregnancy stretch marks. Oh. वही है. अच्छा. So if you look at historical FMCG or any FMCG globally, the way to build massive scale is you are very sharply positioned and you have a niche.
You're known for one thing.
You're known for one thing. So we were always very clear that we will be a global
Okay.
That's why even the brand name of the mom's company is a global brand name. India में होता तो मम्मी कंपनी लिखते हैं.
Okay.
We said global है. Packaging is global, products are global. We are not Ayurvedic, we are natural.
Right.
Because natural story sells and people understand globally.
Right.
So हमेशा से हमारा intention था what we are building is a brand focused on mom and baby.
Sure.
Which will go global and will be eventually in the top 3 global mom and baby brands.
Right.
So all of our choices were based around that.
Acha, and you had plans to go global when
Always.
you started. Acha.
Always. We always said कि अगर हमें solve करना है this for us to be excited about this, what will really excite us? We said we'll go global.
Amazing, amazing. So you're saying that you were contemplating after Snapdeal. Your wife Mallika had this idea very clearly. What got you triggered at that time, and what got you not triggered? Since you come from a business family, आपके पापा का business था, तो business usually comes to kids. और आप तो IIM गए हो, IIM अहमदाबाद गए हो, तो वो leap of faith उस समय नहीं लिया. 10 साल 8 साल काम करने के बाद शादी के पुश के बाद हुआ, 2 बच्चे भी कर लिए थे. तो why not कि भाई business family के बाद तो लोग quickly start कर सकते हैं, but आपने फिर भी time लिया, तो वो थोड़ा सा समझना चाहता हूँ.
I was ready.
You were not ready.
नहीं. So I think business building में बहुत important factor है confidence. कि आपको लगना चाहिए कि आपको सब आता है, आपको आता हो या ना हो. अंदर से. अगर आपको अंदर नहीं आता, तो आपको फिर जाके find out करने से, लोगों से पूछने की क्षमता है. And you are ready to go out and learn as much as possible, and you are very shameless in asking for help and figuring out and getting things done. वो hustle है आपके अंदर that you want to build it.
Yes.
वो बहुत important है. मुझे लगता था मुझे वो नहीं है. So I wasn't confident.
Super.
And what changed was when I saw myself in Snapdeal for a short time. I was there for a year and some odd months.
अच्छा.
But I always felt like जो कुणाल और रोहित कर रहे हैं in some time, मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. And उससे पहले मेरा I think I learned by seeing.
Yes.
और जैसे आज की दुनिया में है, पॉडकास्ट है, इतने इंटरव्यूज है, इतनी एक्सेस है.
True.
पहले तो 2013-14 you had no access. You didn't know what founders were like.
Yes.
ये startup founders होते क्या है, कौन है,
ये कहाँ से alien बुला रहे हैं?
And I'm not one of them.
No, you're right.
So getting access helped.
Wow.
And I think that gave me the confidence. And interesting, I also had a fallback option saying I reached a damn good salary in McKinsey. कुछ नहीं हुआ तो 2-3 साल में पैसे तो कमा ही लेंगे. वो बेस बन गया था.
सेफ्टी नेट दिमाग में था पीछे.
सेफ्टी नेट दिमाग में था, which was important for me because मालिका और मैं साथ में कर रहे थे. So we were both giving up potential other careers. All in थे. And we had 2 young girls, right? And so you have to take care of your family also. So ये हमने सोच के रखा था कि 3 साल we'll give it. In 3 years we'll figure out. वो नहीं होगा तो जॉब तो ढूंढ ही लेंगे.
I think a great learning here is that आपको था स्टार्टअप करना है, बट मैकेंजी जैसी कंपनी में 7 साल कंसल्टिंग असाइनमेंट्स करके भी वो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आया जो 1-1.5 साल स्नैपडील में फाउंडर्स के साथ बैठ के आ गया कि इफ दीज गाइज आर बिल्डिंग अ स्टार्टअप मैं भी बना सकता हूँ. दैट्स अमेजिंग. इनफैक्ट मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही हुआ. माय प्रोग्रेशन वाज सिमिलर. एयरटेल बड़ी कंपनी और ये बहुत बड़ी कंपनी है, 40,000 लोग नहीं बन सकती. स्नैपडील गया तब भी मुझे थोड़ी बड़ी लगी. स्नैपडील 7-8 हजार लोग थे जब मैं था, का ये भी थोड़ी बड़ी है. फिर मैं मोबीक्विक गया, 200 लोग की कंपनी, और विपिन उपासना के साथ बहुत क्लोजली डेली डिसीजन मेकिंग, तो बहुत ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया और फिर स्टार्टअप हो गया. सिमिलर स्टोरी, वेरी सिमिलर स्टोरी. ग्रेट. तो व्हाट डिड योर डैड एंड योर पेरेंट्स से कि जब अब आपने कहा कि भाई मुझे स्टार्टअप करना है, वर दे वेरी प्रो, योर मॉम एंड डैड, और दे वर लाइक कि नहीं इतनी अच्छी सैलरी है क्यों ये सब कर रहे हो?
सो पहले इंटरेस्टिंग है, जब IIM के बाद मुझे McKinsey में जॉब मिली, किसी को McKinsey समझ में नहीं आया कि ये बड़ी कंसल्टिंग कंपनी है, वन ऑफ द बेस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड एंड सो ऑन. तो मुझे तब सुनाया गया कि अच्छी जॉब नहीं मिली.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? ड्रीम जॉब है McKinsey तो. I had to convince them that
it's a fascinating job, it's a dream job, and then I had to send them articles saying ये देखो McKinsey.
ये तो अलग कहानी है.
So that was interesting too. Wow. So first they said, then they got convinced कि ये है, and I was doing very well in McKinsey.
Wow.
I did 4 years in India, then moved to London.
Amazing.
Worked in London for a couple of years, and then came back. So this is a great McKinsey career.
Super.
London is one of the hardest places to get into.
Really?
From even within McKinsey.
क्या बात.
So I was doing very well. So I was proud of that. So जब मैंने McKinsey छोड़ा to join Snapdeal, because I was giving up a great salary and a great career to say नहीं मुझे startup में घुसना है.
अच्छा, Snapdeal में वो सैलरी नहीं मिल रही थी?
Snapdeal में वो मिल रही थी, but वो श्योरिटी नहीं थी. श्योरिटी कि लॉन्ग टर्म क्या होगा. McKinsey में तो आपको पता है ना, if you stay on and
keep rising,
you keep rising, and then your salary keeps multiplying as you grow.
Wow.
Right. So there was people knew. वो उनको पता चल गया था तब तक. So when I left McKinsey to Snapdeal, उन्हें लगा मैं आधा पागल हो चुका हूँ. और जब मैंने Snapdeal छोड़ा अपना स्टार्टअप करने के लिए, उन्हें लगा ये हमारा बेटा तो वहां से गया. This is crazy. But what gave them confidence, I think, at the time was I kept saying, look, this is thoughtful. 3 साल करेंगे, नहीं चला तो वापस ले लेंगे.
Right.
Drop कर देंगे. So that gave them confidence. But they thought clearly that पागल है, McKinsey में जॉब थी, अब साबुन बेचेगा. I don't know what he's doing in life.
Exactly, साबुन बेचेगा.
और अकेले नहीं करेगा, मालिका को भी घसीट के लेके जा रहा है. दोनों साथ में साबुन बेचेंगे. What is wrong with these people?
Wow, that's amazing. But मतलब मलिका का भी थोड़ा सा बताइए इसमें. Maybe we could have called her, but I forgot. But would love to know that what triggered her and how was her journey and how did you kind of
her
align?
Her was interesting and very different. So she also did engineering MBA, and then she was working in ICICI doing debt sales. Right? So B2B sales.
B2B.
And then she moved with me to London when she was 5 months pregnant. So at that time she said, now I'm pregnant and I worked for enough time and I'm in London. I'm not going to do this shitty thing of a job for some time. So she took a break. And in 5 years we had 2 kids. We had then moved from London back to Bombay to Delhi. So हमारा बहुत रिकॉर्ड है. हमने शादी के 15 साल में 13 घर बदले.
Oh,
so we were lots of moving around and shuffling. So now we moved. And then after we moved, I think what inspired her was my older daughter had sensitive skin, right? Or eczema. So India का कोई भी product काम नहीं किया. We had to keep importing simple skincare products.
Okay.
और क्यों होता है समझने में, we found out that Indian skincare products are just meant for mass market. They're for a certain price point. And they just hadn't evolved to very high quality ingredients yet. So वो था. And then second, my younger daughter had baby asthma. Which means that we had to get rid of all fragrances. अगर झाड़ू लगता था कमरे में, then she had to be in a different room. और डॉक्टर ने कहा कि for the first 5 years you have to be careful. First 5 years में ये चला जाता है या रह जाता है. So either she'll be asthmatic for life or you will do all the right things as parents and she'll be okay. So that the pressure of I have to do the right thing for got to her.
As a dad, then
not me as a dad, I would say, but Malika as a mom. It clearly got to her.
Sure.
And so she kept figuring out ये क्या है, and she went down to understanding क्या ingredient जाता है, क्यों जाता है, ये कैसे change करते हैं.
Yeah.
So by the time she went through this journey and I was leaving Snapdeal, she had arrived at a conclusion after talking to manufacturers also कि high quality products India में बन सकते हैं, अभी नहीं बनते क्योंकि distribution नहीं. And I came in and said कि Snapdeal में तो मैंने सीखा है कि distribution तो है, तो अब बनाते हैं. So that's how we started. So for her it was very, I want to solve this problem for myself and for other mothers.
Wow.
And for me, it was, I want to start a business and this seems like a great place to start.
Solid. So, only 2 were the co-founders. There were no third co-founder. Okay. So, how did the team...
कौन तीसरा पागल मियां बीवी के बीच में रहेगा?
नहीं, हमारे यहाँ है. हमारे यहाँ है और वो बहुत जरूरी है.
Husband, wife and third.
And a third.
Oh, I don't know this.
अरे भाई, हमारी लड़ाइयाँ इसीलिए कम हो पाती है क्योंकि वो हेल्प कर देता है. जब हम लड़ते हैं हम बोलते हैं तुषार यार, what's your take? And that's how the decision making. ये हमने figure out किया है. ये बहुत चलता है.
That's a very smart but very dangerous hack. बेचारा तुषार गुरु सोचता हो
क्या करते हैं ये. That's true. But so initially, जैसे how did you divide? जैसे husband wife के topic पे आपने start किया ये business. Husband wife is not an easy. मैं खुद कह रहा हूँ 5 साल से we are a couple together, but it's not easy to run a life and run a business together.
Yeah.
How did you divide responsibilities and how did you manage your work life?
So our responsibilities changed over time.
Okay.
We learned first. We said let's do things that we think we are good at and keep that separate. So Malika took on product. She took on brand, marketing. And I took on finance, sales, fundraising.
Oh, okay.
So हमने function wise divide किया. Saying this is yours, your baby, you will take the final call. I will take the final call on this. And that worked for about, I think, 2-3 years
Achha.
in the beginning.
Okay.
So very clear division of responsibility se zyada ownership.
Who was the CEO? She was the CEO.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we met a very interesting investor early on who said, if you're building this company where you want to get trust from the mother, the face of the company has to be the mom. And we also decided early on that if you look at the function division, we will not be a sales, finance-led FMCG company, which there are some of.
Yeah.
We will be a product and brand first FMCG company. So even when there is a give and take between all these functions, product and brand will win because you can't take shortcuts when it comes to the mother's trust.
Wow.
So we said for both of those reasons, she is the right person to be CEO. So she was CEO, and then for the 5-6 years that we ran the company, I had no title.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So my title kept changing. Eventually, I think I changed from Chief Jugaad Officer to Chief Problem Solving Officer. So it kept changing.
Oh wow.
So it was very functional in the start. And then as we grew and got a leadership team or seniors who are at company mein, we realized that Malika is great at going into lots of detail, getting stuff done. So she's the executor.
Wow.
On the business. And I'm a little bit more of the ideas, strategy. That is my zone, which works very well.
Right.
So we started dividing like that. So मैं operation देखता था पहले, which was more strategy and ops.
True.
But as it got more and more details, she took it on.
Nice.
Right. Same thing with sales. It was very strategy और कहाँ जाना है क्या करना है. But then beyond a point of time, it was very daily numbers क्या है, daily checking क्या है. So then sales also moved to her.
Nice.
And eventually she was running most of the business and I was focusing purely on finance and fundraise.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Great. Matlab, it was very well customized for you is what I would say.
I think we managed.
You managed.
Over time we learned that we are very complementary. So
wow.
it worked out well and for the better.
But decision making was easy between husband wife. वो चीज नहीं बताई आपने work life balance कैसे हुआ नहीं हुआ give up कर दिया था.
The best story I have on this is when we started the business, we started it from the library in the place where we stay. वहाँ पे एक छोटी सी library है हमारे घर के पास.
अच्छा.
तो वहीं पे एक टेबल पे हमने business शुरू किया. So two of us.
Just the two of you.
Just the two of us started.
This was which year?
This was 2016.
16. Okay.
And 2016, 2017 we launched.
अच्छा.
So एक साल लगा in planning, preparing, creating the brand, fundraise, products, finalizing all of that.
Right.
So we started from that.
Nice.
और फिर जगह नहीं होती थी.
हाँ.
So we had a very nice big whiteboard in the bedroom.
Oh.
It's a disaster.
क्या बात कर.
Disaster. Advice for anybody, अगर आप शुरू कर रहे हो, don't put a whiteboard in the bedroom.
Right.
Because work-life balance is gone.
खत्म.
Right.
हाँ.
Malika eventually said, you can't keep waking me up in the night to say ये किया. This doesn't work.
Oh my God! मतलब ये तो proper home office, bedroom office
हो गया ये.
हाँ.
So then the first thing जब हमने पैसे उठाए, this was in the second year. First thing we did was move to a bigger flat.
First check was after 2 years.
First check was after a year.
After a year.
After a year.
17 में.
हाँ. So small check in 2016, which was all product and brand और कुछ खर्च नहीं किया उससे.
ठीक है.
And then second month of launch, we actually closed the funding round.
Oh, nice.
So then we moved to a bigger house and moved the whiteboard to our office. In the home office. यहाँ के
office में आ गए, but whiteboard.
Don't come to our bedroom to work because we had some team members.
Right.
So then we moved it out.
अच्छा.
But I think again on complementary skill sets here, the value was the same for us. We said कि अगर हम करेंगे तो 100% करेंगे. There is no point us doing this half-hearted. And then we'll scale. So if we are 100%, I think what we agreed is ये हम दिन 10 से 7 काम करेंगे and then we'll switch off. That doesn't work for us.
Doesn't for any founder, yeah.
I think there are some who do it well, but for Malika and me it didn't.
Sure.
But we said we will always prioritize family. So if that means that Wednesday morning we have to go to the school 4 घंटे के लिए, it's okay. And we started blocking calendars and then started telling our team members, saying ये है.
Oh wow.
We are both here. We are both 100% all in. I don't have to prove it to any of you.
Yeah.
Because I'm 100% here. This is okay if we have to scale like this.
Sure.
So we are fine. And then we started creating this idea of a work-life merger.
Okay.
Our startup and our family and kids and friends are all one variety or part of the same process.
Yeah.
So we will block time for everything. So now if you look at Malika and my calendar, it's fully blocked.
अच्छा.
सब है उसमें.
क्या बात है?
9 बजे every day I spend time with the kids for an hour. Kids time है उसमें,
अरे वाह,
friends के साथ meetings है and work है. So everything is on the calendar, so we both know what the other person is doing.
Okay, and you've
So
shared
fully
the
work
access
है.
of calendar.
Shared access of calendar to each other. I put things on her calendar, she puts things on mine.
क्या बात है.
That's the only way we manage.
हाँ, मतलब डिनर पे भी जाना है तो
हाँ,
ब्लॉक फॉर डिनर
night भी है.
है. क्या बात है.
And the same calendar our team members have access to.
नाइस कि कब क्या बिजी है.
कब क्या हो रहा है.
नाइस.
So they can also plan with us.
वाओ, ये कुछ सीखने को मिला.
So full transparency.
तो बट मतलब कब लगा कि प्रोडक्ट मार्केट फिट हो गया है? बिकॉज स्टार्टअप 2016 में आपने स्टार्ट करने की सोची, 17 में कुछ फंड रेज किया. व्हेन वाज द पीएमएफ अकॉर्डिंग टू यू, व्हेन यू फेल्ट कि अब ये स्केल कर रहा है?
I think 2017.
अच्छा.
It's the first year. So we launched with 4 pregnancy products,
ओके.
which was the largest range of pregnancy products in the country.
ओह,
पहले सिर्फ एक बॉडी बटर आता था और एक ऑयल आता था.
अच्छा.
Different brands का.
तो your star product was the stretch mark product.
Yeah. So Stretch
Achha.
Mark Bundle was the star product and a gift box around it with 4 products.
Okay.
So that happened. And then the reason I said we thought we had PMF was customers would recommend other customers organically without us asking. And every customer would at least tell 2 other customers.
Oh.
Right?
So according to you, it's the referral.
So PMF for us in our category, which is very trust and word of mouth based, PMF is, does your brand or does your product drive organic exponential word of mouth? Be very
Achha.
clear. तो 2 चीजें होने लगी. From the parents' perspective, we would have that. And even now, it's our star product, the gift box that we have. Very regularly after a Godbarai or a baby shower, some woman will call our customer care and say, देखो मेरे पास 6 gift box आ गए, मैं क्या करूँ इसका? Can I please resell 5 to you?
That's such a star product.
So that's our star product. So that has scaled and that started happening from the first year. I remember I got a call once from a lady based in Gurgaon saying मैंने order place कर दिया है, can you get it delivered to me today? So 2 दिन लग जाएंगे, गुड़गांव में आ जाएगा. So no, I have to go today because my bhabhi stays in Dubai and this is the only thing she has asked for.
Oh wow.
So I said of course. So I drove to her, gave her the gift box, saying please make sure
Kya
with our
baat hai.
compliments.
क्या बात है.
So that's when you know that people are really talking and want your product. We thought we had PMF there.
Wonderful.
So that was one. And then the second interesting hack we did was 1 year after launch, we launched our baby care range. So it was pregnancy, then baby
Achha.
care and then other products.
अच्छा.
And in baby care, what we did was we reached back to all of our pregnancy care customers of the last 1 year who had bought on the website. 6,000-7,000 the. And we said, we have a baby trial kit. If you want, we will send you the trial kit for free. आप बस हमें अपना address भेज दो.
अच्छा.
And this we said. And out of 6,000 customers, we sent 5,000.
They wanted the trial
They wanted
product.
the trial kit.
Wow.
Right?
Which is
I
the
know female.
love for the brand.
But it was more saying, I am willing to try.
Right.
And I think that confidence that we built with the product, the brand, the messaging in the first year really helped us scale. So I think by the time we launched the baby care range, we said, there is PMF here at the price point at what we are trying to do.
Nice.
And then from there, we really started scaling.
Wow. And your pricing was a little premium. How did you keep your pricing? Was it above the market?
Above market.
Above market. It was always a
बहुत
premium
clear
range.
था. The messaging was very clear. The reason you don't get the quality of products you want is because you don't pay the price for it.
Right.
अगर आपको ये quality चाहिए तो इसी price में आता है.
Wonderful.
Right? And I think even if people were hesitant at the first try because of word of mouth, when they tried, they felt the difference. तो आप हमारा लोशन लगाओ या बटर लगाओ तो it feels more moisturizing for longer.
Nice.
Right?
Nice. So you solved for the quality of the product since day one, and
We
right?
saw,
It
so
worked.
in any physical product, there are 2 moments of truth. The moment of truth is the first time you see the product online or you see it on shelf. Right? Saying ये product कैसा दिख रहा है, is it talking to me and telling me what I want?
True.
And the second moment of truth is when you actually apply.
Yes.
First one we solved because of that first fundraise. I think a large chunk of it went in actually getting an agency
Okay.
which did very high quality work on product and brand and design. So we looked and felt like a high-end international product.
Nice.
And then when you bought us and used the product, the fragrance, quality, texture, effect, efficacy, all of that was very top-notch.
Nice.
So it felt like, this feels like an international product. So most of the time I think we got feedback saying ये बहुत सस्ता है, not ये बहुत महंगा है.
Oh wow.
And we were double of competition.
Acha. And all of this manufacturing and everything was outsourced happening in India?
All outsourced,
Quality control.
very high quality.
Control.
Manufacturing.
Because इसमें ये भी होता है ना that मतलब if you have a recipe with someone who's manufacturing it for you, right? It can be copied, it can be, given out. So how do you control those?
You can control it legally. लेकिन legally
contract India में कुछ चलता नहीं है.
जाएगा नहीं. So the best option then that you have is to build a relationship. So we had very strong relationships with our vendors and suppliers, and we chose vendors where we will become very large for them over time. So our vendors have also grown 4-5x with us over the years. We multiplied number of vendors.
Achha.
But each one we've stayed with and built very long relationships.
Okay.
So उनका incentive बहुत कम है. And why will they take a formula and give it to a startup? They think यहाँ अच्छा चल रहा है.
And brand also I think is a big
brand, and for them consistency of business.
Yeah, absolutely. अच्छा, I think हमने इतनी D2C की बातें कर ली, but I think from your lens, by the way, you are one of the starred D2C story of India, right? तो मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगा on this is the largest D2C exit which I read before you came in. 500 करोड़ का D2C exit इस कंपनी ने किया है Momsco ने, which is not a small feat in India. Acquisition होना and a cash exit होना is not easy, right? तो पहले would love to understand what is D2C. मतलब जो लोग आज D2C सोच रहे हैं, young founders, उनको आप कैसे समझाओगे कि D2C क्या है, कैसे बनाते हैं, वो थोड़ा आप बताओ.
Okay. D2C is the idea that you are selling direct to consumer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the core of D2C. So if you see, let's say e-commerce के पहले कौन खरीद रहा है कौन नहीं खरीद रहा है आपको कुछ नहीं पता. You will sell to a distributor who will sell to a retailer who will sell to the final consumer.
Right.
तो उसको आप you call it selling to the distributor in FMCG terms is primary sale.
Yeah.
From there selling it to a retailer is secondary sale.
Right.
And from there the end consumer buying is a tertiary sale.
Right.
तो अगर आप कोई कंपनी चला रहे हो, you have no idea कस्टमर कौन है क्या है क्यों खरीद रहा है.
हाँ कुछ नहीं पता. सही बात है.
That has now changed because अगर आप Amazon पे जाओ या अपने वेबसाइट से बेचो, you get the phone number. So what helped us in the early years was people would come to our own website, they would buy, हम फोन उठा के बात करते थे, saying कौन हो, कहाँ हो, like what is the feedback, tell us.
Sure.
And that direct 1:1 connection is what internet e-commerce has enabled.
Wow.
That's the idea of direct to consumer.
Right.
ये sales पे हुआ.
अच्छा.
If you think about marketing,
Right.
marketing पहले था आप टीवी में ऐड करो,
हाँ.
या आप रेडियो पे करो या न्यूज़पेपर में करो, you have no idea कौन पढ़ रहा है, क्यों पढ़ रहा है, उससे क्या हुआ. From there you went to Facebook, Instagram, and now even in advertising, people can comment on your ad and you will respond 1:1. So even from a marketing brand building perspective, you all have your own social media pages. Again, there's a direct connection.
Sure.
So the idea of D2C is creating a brand where there is a direct connection with your consumer. And so what has that allowed? What that has allowed is if today you are a young girl who's 16 years old, has a concern with pimples but has oily skin, you will find a brand for that. Because you will follow someone on social media, जो पहले impossible था.
पहले नहीं था.
Right? पहले आपके पास एक ही product था across the country to do that.
Correct.
So as a consumer, what D2C has meant is you have incredible amount of choices for ये मेरा brand, ये मेरा product, which I like. So the biggest change that has happened is now lots of consumers like us. हमने जब शुरू किया था, we also said कि Malika said, moms like me, के लिए I will make a brand and product. So today, lots of young people are able to say, for people like me having this problem, I will start this brand. And it's her category. It's in food, it's in clothing, it's in skincare.
Right.
Everywhere you're seeing that. So that's what the D2C wave is.
Right. And for young founders, I think उनको एक वही product space बहुत clearly ढूंढनी पड़ेगी, where there's a vacuum, right? That's the starting point.
You have to find three things.
Sure.
You have to find a product space or an insight where consumers are unhappy.
Yes.
And they're saying, is there a better option? मुझे तो नहीं मिल रहा.
ठीक है.
Right?
Perfect.
Then you have to figure out, can I solve it with a genuinely better product that people can afford? Right?
बिल्कुल.
For example, if that girl sitting somewhere in, let's say, Bathinda,
Right.
in India is
Right.
saying pimple ke liye, and you find the best solution for her, but you say ye tube aapko 1000 rupees की मिलेगी,
हाँ,
and she's probably not going to buy it. It's too expensive compared to competition.
सही बात है.
So second is, can you build a product that solves for a real concern at a price
Right.
that the consumer is willing to pay?
Right.
And the third is, can you communicate it in a way that you can stand out from the crowd? अगर आपने ये बना भी दिया, but then there are 10 other people saying the same thing, that consumer is very confused, she doesn't know who to buy.
सही बात है.
So all these three need to be met for you to actually scale a D2C brand.
Beautiful. बहुत अच्छे से. I think a lot of people now understand D2C और बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप्स निकलने वाले हैं because of great explanation that you have done.
बहुत बढ़िया. फंडिंग के लिए आ जाना भाई. बता देना.
Now Mohit is an avid investor, guys. तो भाई reach out to him जब भी पैसे उठाने हो.
Please reach out.
बट पैसों की बात करते करते आपकी फंडिंग राउंड्स पे आते हैं, राइट? कि आपने कितने फंडिंग राउंड्स करे, कैसे अनलॉक हुए, हु वर द की इन्वेस्टर्स ने कितनी हेल्प करी, राइट? एंड जस्ट हेल्प अस अंडरस्टैंड योर सम रेवेन्यू नंबर्स with the funding round numbers if you
Sure.
can.
So in 2017 we were at 2 lakhs a month
Acha.
when we got our first round of funding.
Okay.
They were two investors, DSG and Sama Capital, both
Largest investors.
largest consumer goods investors.
Bilkul.
At that time, the only ones in the country.
Yes.
The other guys hadn't started yet.
Correct.
So they were the two best consumer investors in the
हाँ.
country. Started with them. And उनके साथ बैठ के, I think we were very clear saying, moms को अगर global जाएगा, like we discussed, and अगर moms को जाएगा global with a sharp product portfolio and a sharp brand positioning, खुद से नहीं कर पाएगा. So at some point of time, we will have to get acquired. And so from that time, the conversation changed to, how do we get acquired? What is the right scale at which we will get acquired? What will we build, not build? What are the choices that we will make?
This was when?
This was 2018.
2018. So after 1 year of their investment.
1 year of their investing, us knowing कि product market fit है,
Acha.
we said, okay, what do we need to do?
Acha.
Right?
Wow.
And this happened because we were having interesting conversations.
Huh.
One of the interesting things that happened was we actually launched chai.
What?
Under the Moms Co. We launched a chai for acidity and a chai for breastfeeding.
Okay. For moms.
For moms. So great product. Worked really well. Pricing was also okay.
Acha.
But when we started talking to FMCG companies, because they were all reaching out already in 1 year, they said, ये चाय क्यों बेच रहे हो, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. और
अभी तक साबुन पे थे.
और ये ऐसा है क्योंकि उनको सिर्फ साबुन बेचना आता है.
हाँ.
So if you look at the best companies in the world, they are divided by category.
Right.
So the food category is different from
right.
skincare, is different from the other category.
No. Huh.
Right?
Yeah.
So they don't work together. So if you want to, if we went down that path and we did multi-category, they would never understand कि ये company है क्या, कैसे, क्या बेचती है, why should, how can we acquire?
Right.
So we said, okay, let's stick to what we know within the categories and not multi-category.
Wonderful.
So that was one interesting decision.
Acha.
Second interesting decision was we started experimenting with Amazon US.
Okay.
First year, and actually by that time we were doing 10 lakhs a month in sales. 2 lakh तो US से आ रहा था.
अच्छा.
When again we started talking, FMCG company said, यार अगर आप multi country हो जाते हो, then I don't know which country will acquire you. क्योंकि हमारे brand buying decisions तो local होते हैं.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
So we said, what's the point of spending money growing a market
right
if it's not valued?
Oh.
So we shut down US. Said let's just focus on India and their core market है.
अच्छा.
Same thing happened on fundraise.
Okay.
Her fundraise round में we had multiple fundraisers,
Yeah.
but as we were going larger and larger, what was happening was the tech investors were starting to come in.
अच्छा.
और उनका mindset हमें समझ में आ गया था that what the tech investors wanted to do was, we will invest, but we don't like your speed of growth. We want you to grow much faster.
Right.
Because that's when I make my money.
Correct.
It's okay if you burn more money.
हाँ.
Again, the FMCG companies would say, यार कितना पैसा चला रहे हो, ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा. How do we acquire you? So we went back to DSG Sama and we said, you do the round.
अच्छा.
So funding story in short was we started with DSG Sama, did a second round with them, did a third round with them.
अच्छा. Wow.
And then in 2021, when we started getting inbound for sale,
हाँ.
I had 2 people to talk to.
Okay.
So we called Deepak and Ash, who are the investors, founders, board members from DSG Sama.
Right.
We said, देखो ये आ रहा है, we think it's great offers.
हाँ.
Their advice was, if you can get multiple offers on the table, you are at about 100-150 crore now run rate. Fantastic time for you to sell.
सही बात.
तो करो.
अच्छा.
So we were out for a fundraise. We switched to a sale mandate.
Okay.
got 5 people interested,
Wow.
had the ability to do a proper bidding war, get the right
Yeah.
deal for everybody involved,
क्या बात.
and that's what led to the exit.
Wow. तो मतलब ये तो अमेजिंग स्टोरी है, बट इतना जल्दी एग्जिट, मतलब 4 साल में, 4-5 साल में you got an exit,
Yeah,
right? And interestingly, your investors also bought into the idea.
yeah,
Usually, investors would not want to get a quick exit.
correct.
They usually invest for 10 years.
Yeah.
बट जो मुझे एक चीज आपकी समझ में आई कि 2018 में ही वो कॉल आपने ले लिया था कि भाई वी आर बिल्डिंग फॉर एग्जिट, राइट?
नहीं तो कॉल अलग लेते हैं.
हाँ.
I'll give an example.
हाँ.
Mom and baby market in India अभी छोटी है.
हाँ.
Right?
हाँ.
To build a venture-backed company that goes IPO
हाँ.
isn't possible.
Isn't possible. सही बात है. It's a very niche.
It's very niche. आप IPO कर नहीं सकते.
सही बात.
अगर आप IPO कर नहीं सकते,
हाँ.
what do you do?
हाँ.
The only possibility is an exit.
Right. Right.
So at that time we said, do we do multi-brand?
हाँ.
We weren't excited by it. Do we do
हाँ.
multi-category? We said no one will be excited.
हाँ.
But IPO करने के लिए those were the two right decisions.
Oh. Wow.
So we went back and said, no, let's stick to what we know, what we believe. We want to create a fantastic global brand.
Right.
It's okay if it is in partnership with somebody else.
Right.
Or if we get acquired and build it, but let's build it accordingly.
Hmm.
So a lot of decisions were taken to support that hypothesis.
Wow. Wow. And finally you sold it to Good Glam,
Yeah.
right? तो मतलब उस समय you were saying there were 5 offers.
Yeah.
So how did you decide which one? Was it only the price या कुछ और भी मिल रहा था?
नहीं, multiple things.
मतलब हाँ, मतलब एक फाउंडर को थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे समझना चाहेंगे कि ये जो एक्विजिशन का डिसीजन है, तो एक होता है कि भाई मेरे को एक लेगेसी बनानी है, मेरे को आईपीओ लेके जाना है, मेरे को फॉरएवर कंपनी चलानी है, और एक है कि मुझे एग्जिट लेना है. तो वो कॉल आपने कैसे, मतलब व्हाट्स द माइंडसेट दैट वर्क्स इन द माइंड ऑफ अ फाउंडर लाइक यू कि क्या करना है, और फिर ये कैसे हुआ?
So I think ये एक interesting false decision है
अच्छा.
for a founder.
हाँ.
Because the minute you take external money, आपको पैसे तो रिटर्न करने हैं,
Yeah.
आपको exit देना है.
बात तो सही है.
Now question is, does that exit happen through an acquisition route or through an IPO route? दो ही options है.
दो ही ऑप्शन.
Acquisition या तो आपके shares एक इन्वेस्टर से दूसरे इन्वेस्टर खरीदेंगे,
राइट.
राइट, या सारे शेयर्स खरीदेंगे इंक्लूडिंग फाउंडर्स, या आप आईपीओ करोगे.
बिल्कुल.
That's the only
these
options.
are the ways. Yes.
Right? If you want to create a legacy business, do it the Indian way.
Right.
खुद का पैसा डालो, फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली का पैसा डालो, 20 साल लगाओ.
Correct.
You will build an amazing business.
Correct. हाँ.
तो आपका दूसरा ऑप्शन है.
हाँ.
So I think the minute you say मैं VC funding उठाऊंगा,
हाँ.
you know that you're in the market to say, okay, I will at some point of time promise to give you an exit. But they are not doing it for charity.
सही बात है.
So we were very clear saying, if we get VC money early on, I will give an exit to everybody.
Sure.
Then the question was, what is the right time to give an exit? So coming back to Good Glam, one was very clear. It seemed like the right time because we had 4-5 people interested. And we felt if we got much bigger, it would be harder to get acquired.
अच्छा.
Right? अगर 100-150 crore रेवेन्यू पे, 500 करोड़ सॉर्ट ऑफ वैल्यूएशन पे डिसीजन इंडिया में होता है, उसके बाद वो बाहर चला जाता है. बाहर चला जाता है तो इट्स कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. सो द इंडियन सीईओज डोंट हैव दैट मच से. ओके. राइट. सो ही सेड ओके, राइट टाइम. या. राइट साइज ऑफ द कंपनी टू गेट एक्वायर्ड. Everybody wanted to understand D2C, so there were more people on the table. Right. That also helped. Nice. And then third, the reason we chose Good Glam is we said the idea for the Momsco was always to go global. Who is the partner who will take us global? और बाकी सबसे समझ में आ गया that what every other company wanted to focus on was building the Momsco within India only. Right? उनसे when you say global, they say हाँ देखते हैं, पहले इंडिया में थोड़ा proof कर लो, then we figure out. And in comparison, in Good Glam, in 1.5 years, we're already in Dubai and UAE and now spreading across the world. Right. So I think it helped the brand. Sure. That was one. Sure. And second, we thought, yeah, the Momsco in the scheme of things is such a small business. आप अगर बहुत बड़ी ब्रांड में चले जाओगे, बहुत बड़ी कंपनी में चले जाओगे, आप खो जाओगे. सही बात है. Will a large FMCG company give the Momsco the attention we think it deserves? Sure. We thought we would get lost.
Acha.
Right?
Great.
So that didn't make sense.
So you had large companies also offering, and startups also offering. Good Glam considering a startup, you like that more.
We like that more, and we thought we'd have more say. We would hand it over better. It was a great exit for our investors and us and our angel investors also. Wow. So it seemed to work out.
Super.
Right? And that one, we really liked working with him and chatting with him. So we thought, He understands us and who we want to be, maybe more than the others. So that's why it made sense.
Very nice. और उससे पहले how much money you had raised?
10 million.
10 million you had raised, and you took it to a 150 crore, revenue business, annualized. Very nice. And you sold it for 500 crores. Wow, that's amazing. But what's your recipe of fundraising, right? जब आपने 2-3 rounds करे, you had raised till Series A?
Yeah.
Series A, 10 million. So what is your recipe of a fundraise? What can young founders learn on fundraising for a D2C brand from you? While they have learned D2C क्या है, obviously product, quality, brand जरूरी है. But any other recipe that you have?
Yeah.
बताइए.
आप fundraising में date नहीं कर रहे, आप शादी कर रहे हो. People keep forgetting. It is really important. Who is the other person? Do you like to spend time together?
Yeah.
When things get hard, will the person be by your side?
अच्छा.
Right? Will the person get their friends and family involved and help you succeed or no? Or will they be very hands off?
ठीक है.
That's also okay.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But you choose who you get into bed with.
Sure.
What worked for us was having investors very early on, DSG and Sama, who understood that brand building takes time.
अच्छा, that's great.
They came in and said, it takes 8 to 10 years for a brand to be recognized at all. So it's okay, take your time. So even when we were feeling guilty saying, yaar, product launch seedhe ho gaya, they said, nahi, you cannot mess up with the wrong product. You have to get the product right.
Wonderful.
So we were very clear that the investors we got were folks that we enjoyed. And every time there was a third party saying, yaar, isse bhi diya hai kya? Cap table pe isse paise utha de. We kept going back saying, yaar, itna comfort nahi hai.
सही बात.
This is cozy. So थोड़े percentage point of equity के लिए do we want to give up this interesting mind space?
Wow.
So I think that's equation people forget. और वो equation बहुत ही important है. आप angel investing कर रहे हो या angel से पैसे उठा रहे हो, all the way up to who is the right person. And you have to understand what is their value system and what drives them. Right. So again, in our sector, in consumer goods, getting a 100x or 1000x multiple on your investment is nearly impossible.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
because
it
it's a
is.
physical product. It takes time to grow.
True.
Right?
कितने 3 to 5x multiple चलते हैं?
हाँ, 3 to 5 चलते हैं.
ठीक
So
है.
it goes there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying therefore the investment for the person who puts in money, he's expecting that sort of a return. If we go in with a person who's expecting a far higher return, their model is मैं 10 companies में पैसे डालूंगा, 9 will fail. It is okay. 1 will deliver this mega multiple return and I'm okay.
Sure.
That is that VC's model, which works for them.
True.
We always felt कि यार that's not the model we want. क्योंकि मैं तो ये दे नहीं पाऊंगा. So my likelihood is not 9 in 10 that I will be one of the dead people in their portfolio.
Sure.
I'm probably 99%. So why would I take that risk?
सही बात है.
So advice number 1, आप शादी कर रहे हो. Advice number 2, उसकी history देखो and figure out what has happened with companies in the past that have done well and that have not done well.
Right.
And figure out if that is who you want.
Sure.
It can work for you, it cannot work for you, but you have to know.
सही
Don't
बात
be
है.
blind as you go into it.
सही बात है. Great advice to young founders out there. तो acquisition आपने करा, which is amazing. मतलब आपकी कंपनी acquire हुई, which is and this is a great perspective that you've given कि भाई आप fundraising कर रहे हो, वो भी एक तरह से शेयर बेच रहे हो. अब पूरे बेच रहे हो या थोड़े बेच रहे हो, कहीं ना कहीं जाके exit तो लेना ही है. This is one of the ways of exit, which is great perspective. But acquisition क्योंकि full exit है, उसमें क्या कुछ चीजों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए as founders? क्योंकि आज की डेट में I'm sure a lot of MSMEs are also listening to our podcast, जो कि छोटे बिजनेसेस चला रहे हैं, D2C ब्रांड भी चला रहे होंगे, कोई इंदौर में सुन रहा होगा, कोई नागपुर में सुन रहा होगा, तो उनको क्या बताना चाहोगे कि भाई एक्विजिशन में क्या चीजों का ध्यान?
What's happened interestingly is both the girls have seen Malika build the business. So now Malika used to feel very guilty, saying I'm not spending time with them. Now we're spending lots of time with them.
Wow.
But what changed was Myra coming and saying, "Mama, मुझे बड़ी होके ना business woman बनना है."
क्या बात है. That's amazing.
So now she's seen that journey, so she's excited. So now Malika does everybody. They feel no guilt. Spending time at work is giving great life lessons to your daughter.
Absolutely.
Stay with it.
नहीं, बहुत अच्छा है. देखो, kids को इससे बेटर नॉलेज हमने नहीं दी. मतलब मेरे को भी अच्छा लगता है, कभी कभी गिल्टी भी लगता है that she is coming to office and she's not having a personal life, but she talks things like, मतलब she says, I love you billion papa. You're picking the right words. तो great. So yeah, so I was asking कि acquisition जब हो रहा है
हाँ.
आपका, जो छोटी-छोटी brands acquire होती हैं, what are the things that they should keep in mind, right? Basics that you would have learned through an acquisition of your own.
So I'm using too many marriage analogies today, but
Why
the
not?
best advice we got.
हाँ,
All देखो,
हाँ,
सब अपना जब बिजनेस शुरू करते हैं, ब्रांड
हाँ,
शुरू करते हैं,
हाँ,
अपना बच्चा समझ के उसको पाल पोस के बड़ा करते हैं,
right,
राइट?
हाँ,
अभी एक्विजिशन है, शादी करा रहे हो,
हाँ,
शादी करा रहे हो, जाने दो,
हाँ,
राइट?
अच्छा,
Don't say I will, मैं शादी कराऊंगी या शादी कराऊंगा,
हाँ,
and then I will control what's happening in the other house. I want to control how they eat, how they are fed, when they sleep, what's happening. It doesn't work,
sure,
right? Because no matter what you do, no matter now that you're a founder,
yeah,
emotionally and rationally and physically, you've given away your business and your brand to someone.
सही बात,
So first of all, you cannot have any regrets.
ठीक है,
Saying whatever decision you took at that time was the right.
hmm,
And second, do it knowing that very soon
hmm,
you will not be the one calling the shots.
hmm,
So,
hmm,
in the Gurgaon group, for example, on paper we said 2-year transition timeline.
अच्छा,
We will hand it over fully in 2 years to you, and then we will exit.
okay,
But realistically, what happened was in the first 2-3 months,
हाँ,
we started actually handing over the business because it made sense, right?
Sure.
If I want benefits of retail for the mom's company,
yeah,
it makes sense that the larger group's retail runs my retail.
सही बात, सही
If
बात,
I want benefits of the technology and the D2C,
Yeah.
it makes sense that the D2C is handed over.
hmm,
Same thing for operations.
okay,
So slowly by slowly,
हाँ,
and actually then very, very quickly,
हाँ,
we said it makes more sense for you to run the business.
हाँ,
और ये तो हमने सोचा ही था, then why hold on for 2 years?
अच्छा,
So we flipped the switch and we said then our role becomes how quickly and seamlessly can we hand over to you fully
okay,
and then exit because you need to take the decisions.
Right.
I am only a caretaker.
right,
And the lesser time I'm a caretaker, the better.
अच्छा, and Darpan was okay with that.
It made sense for everybody, right? So you get operational benefits,
Hmm.
you get easy decision making.
Hmm.
Now we had a CBO at the mom's company.
Hmm,
Imagine for her, life was get approval from Malika, then
Hmm.
from me,
hmm,
then from the brand CEO, then from
Hmm.
Darpan.
hmm,
So for her to do anything just became very, very unviable.
true, true,
So it became far easier that we said, okay, first we are approvers,
hmm,
but very quickly, okay, you need to move to approvers at the larger company.
yeah,
And then we accelerated that transition, saying this makes sense for everyone involved
hmm,
and for the brand, it's also better.
hmm,
So, लोग कहते थे हमें कि when you transition or make it as short as possible, हमें समझा नहीं.
hmm,
When we got in, we said it absolutely makes sense, right? The decision is taken that someone else will run the show.
right,
You have to accelerate that transition as much as possible,
sure,
and it's better for everybody involved and the brand or the business as well.
hmm,
So, to your point on advice, it is not your baby
Hmm.
after you've sold it. ये
Right.
ध्यान में रखो.
right,
And then if it's not, make that transition as quick and as easy as possible.
perfect.
Works out great for everybody.
वंडरफुल, वंडरफुल. तो ये डिटैच हो जाओ मतलब एक बार बेचने के बाद, right?
Detach-
थोड़ा मतलब,
I think detach is the wrong word, but know that you are not the final decision maker. So
Yeah.
you can fight and you can keep giving advice.
yeah,
You can ownership and decision making आपकी.
हाँ, तो वो maturity होनी चाहिए.
That maturity.
That
you need.
maturity.
Yeah.
तो as founders, right, ये journey is always not easy, right? For a lot of you, and आपके लिए भी initially challenges रहे होंगे, right? तो how, and there are moments when you're really down and out, right? कुछ चीजें achieve नहीं हो रही हैं, funding, team. By the way, what was the team size when you sold it?
About 80 people.
80 people, right? And they were all nicely,
Yeah.
graduated to that setup. वो
Yeah.
भी एक चीज ध्यान रखनी
बिल्कुल.
होती है, right? तो when you're down, what are your, poisons that you go for? कि how do you get yourself up again? क्या कहानी है आपकी?
My best hack was
हाँ.
customer feedback.
अच्छा,
So I used
पर
to
वो तो और डाउन कर देता है कभी कभी अगर अच्छा
no.
नहीं
So we knew that we had great product and great
अरे
brand.
वाह क्या
So
बात है.
whenever we knew कि यार
हाँ.
कुछ चल नहीं रहा, why are we doing this?
हाँ,
I would go to the call center and I'd pick up the phone and call customers.
Wow.
But tell me what you like about the brand.
हाँ,
And that's when you get stories that you are changing lives.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like this one amazing customer feedback we got. Third or fourth month, this customer reached out and said, we love your product, and she sent an email.
अच्छा,
फिर उसके 4-5 महीने बाद she sent a follow-up email.
Hmm.
She said, she's from Kozhikode,
Okay.
Kerala. So she's there. She said, I am on my in the operation theater
Hmm.
giving birth, and the nurse is telling me, what is this? I've never seen a belly with no stretch marks. क्या कर रहे हो आप?
क्या बात है?
And she sent an email and I said, oh my God, see, I'm still getting goosebumps
Wow,
when I hear this
actually.
story.
Yeah.
Right? So that customer feedback was amazing. And then I would hear the story and then tell everyone, पता है क्या हुआ? पता है क्या हुआ? पता है क्या हुआ? So you have to find the core of what excites you about the business and keep going back to that.
Absolutely.
For me, it was customer feedback.
Amazing.
Saying, I know I am changing a few lives.
Right.
And I've always wanted to do that.
Great.
So this energized me.
Super.
मैं ये करूँगा.
That's great. Great. So, मतलब अब क्या चल रहा है लाइफ में now that you have sold a startup for a hefty amount, right? What is ahead for Mohit, for Mallika, for both of you? क्या करना चाह रहे हो? And also, how are you managing this so much personal wealth, यार? थोड़ा वो भी बताओ.
So first on the time.
Yes.
I'm doing 3 things which I really enjoy doing.
Okay.
I think the most underrated thing about wealth, which I never understood, was that it allows you to really spend time on what you want to do. There's an amazing level of freedom जो मुझे कभी समझा नहीं था until it happened.
अच्छा.
So there's an insane amount of freedom. I can wake up in the morning and decide आज क्या करना है.
Wow.
Right? And I can decide कि आज मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा. Which is okay. Or I can do what I'm doing now, which is spending time on 3 things which I really enjoy. saying मुझे यही करना है.
Wow.
So I do a lot of angel investing. I've done about 22 startups now.
Amazing.
Like 1 a month sort of is my track rate.
Super.
And the idea is these are businesses where I'm learning a lot or I'm very excited by.
Nice.
So I've done climate, I've done SaaS, I've done D2C enablers. Right, in that zone.
Right.
Or I say these are brands that I'm very excited about and that I can add something from my experience.
Wow.
So in those buckets, I spend time then with those founders across the board to see how can I help as much as possible. So one is angel investing.
Sure.
Second is Mallika, and I have also started a podcast and a series called Unscripted.
Oh, nice.
And the idea is
great.
We've learned so much in our journeys.
Yeah.
And I think India is an amazing place to be, and hopefully thousands of founders will come up every year. Can we make a few journeys easier? And with unscripted, honest conversations. Because now we don't need to show कि सब ठीक है यार, फटी तो फटी. That's what unscripted is about. I think our tagline should be फटी तो फटी. It's okay.
Actually, why not?
So that's second what we are doing. And third is I'm spending a lot of time on things जो छूट गई थी यार पिछले 5 साल में. So spending time with the kids जो थोड़ा कम था. Taking a few holidays जो थोड़ा कम था. Doing bucket list items like scuba diving and skydiving and road trips.
Wow.
जो पहले नहीं कर पाया.
Wow.
So that's the other interesting thing I'm doing.
Nice.
And बीच में कहीं पे idea चल रहा है saying what next.
Oh wow. Something's brewing.
Something's always brewing.
Always
I think वो
founder की बीमारी है. छोड़ नहीं सकते.
Founder की बीमारी है. Something's always brewing.
Always brewing. Wow. So
you never know.
So यार बहुत सारी breaking news आ रही है मतलब यहाँ पे कि कुछ नया भी हो रहा है. Unscripted भी आप सबको देखना है because there's a lot of candid conversations from founders happening there. But great, we would love to catch that, और startup investing भी हो रही है, तो वो भी you can reach out to Mohit on LinkedIn, I'm sure, right? And you can, cover him up. So anything that still you feel that you would want to tell the younger Mohit, right? कि और मतलब I'm sure कि journey is what you love, कि जो भी हुआ बहुत अच्छा हुआ, right? सीखा और सीख के यहाँ तक पहुंच गए. कोई एक ऐसी चीज which you want to tell younger Mohit or the younger D2C or young founders who are wanting to create?
Yeah, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid.
So I'll tell you interesting. The one thing I think at the Momsco was we were slow. So we said that product and mom's trust is something that we can never mess with. So our product has to be incredible quality. What that meant was we would take 12 months to launch a product. Right? बहुत टाइम लगाते थे, बहुत सोच के लॉन्च करते थे. Right. और फिर भी अगर कस्टमर को पसंद नहीं आया तो नहीं आया. So we put so much focus on getting things absolutely perfect. That I think over time, some things we could have done a lot faster. And then I have an amazing quote which I've learned on that. Perfection is the enemy of great.
That's true.
Right? So don't wait to be perfect in everything you do. Right? Experiment and scale. Great is good enough.
That's true. MVP जो हम कहते हैं कि
MVP.
ठीक है परफेक्शन आ जाएगा बट स्टार्ट तो करो
शुरू
हाँ.
तो करो, स्किल तो करो.
and don't be afraid
Don't
in
be
doing
afraid.
that.
बिल्कुल.
Wow. तो इस जर्नी में लास्ट क्वेश्चन राइट एनीथिंग दैट यू नो यू वुड से कि इट टुक मी ऑफ द गार्ड मतलब कभी कभी होता है कि कोई एग्जिट हो गया या फिर कुछ ऐसी चीज हो गई जो बिल्कुल नॉट इन योर कंट्रोल राइट एंड सो वुड लव टू अंडरस्टैंड और लर्न दैट जर्नी कि वो कब था क्या था कुछ ऐसा था जो कि मतलब दिमाग खुल गया एकदम blew your mind.
Blew my mind. I think one really interesting example. So, in McKinsey, I used to do a lot of work on organization, culture. I got trained as a coach.
अच्छा
So, when we started the Moms Company, I said, we will make this a place where when people come and join, this becomes the best part of their career. And that means that they never leave.
okay
और तो जब first पहले एक दो exits हुए, I said, यार ये तो this is not working. I said people will never leave, but people are leaving very quick. What's happening? And so very interesting. We had a very interesting conversation with people and learned कि यार the original idea that this will be an amazing place for people to work and they will learn वो तो हो रहा है. Right? Because people are learning, but people are growing because we've done such a great job with them that they have huge opportunities outside beyond the Moms School, and we should celebrate it. So, वो switch we flipped.
Wow.
So we started celebrating farewells.
अच्छा
To the extent that when Malika and I had our farewell at the Moms Company,
हाँ.
employee 1 came,
oh.
and employee 3 came, and employee 8 came, right?
Okay.
Out of our 250 ever employees at the Moms Company.
nice
And everyone came in and said, you know, I may have gone and done other things in my life, but the Moms School is the one company, the one place that changed my life for the better.
wow
So I said, that I had to reorient and learn that for you to be a great place to work doesn't mean people live there forever. It means that when they walk out, they say, this changed my life. So मुझे सीखना पड़ा. But it got very exciting.
amazing learning amazing thought actually कि यार you're empowering them वो बाहर जा रहे हैं बट कुछ बना रहे हैं and they remember you
They remember.
in a positive light
Yeah.
right हाँ ये हमें भी initially बहुत लगता था कोई जाता था यार क्या हो रहा है क्या कल्चर बना रहे हैं but that's a founder's you know plight always great Mohit amazing conversation and a lot of learnings to be very
Oh,
frank
thank you.
and I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation I think we would love to do one set with you and Malika also sometime with me and Rashi here और वो एक अलग टाइप की
Oh, next time.
वो एक अलग टाइप की
We will do 2
unscripted करेंगे हाँ why not let's do that
चलो.
but amazing having you here thank you
Same
so
here.
much
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
likewise